Vicki, and I will be your paint instructor. We will be painting a baby from beginning to end. I will walk you through all your supplies that you need and where you can get them if you don't have them, and how for this video, how to prepare your workstation. Everything should be in place, nice, neat, and clean, ready to go, because silicone painting doesn't play. You must be prepared and set up properly. All right, so our first video is one to introduce myself. My name is Vicki, and I have not been painting very long. I have made some costly mistakes, so I thought I should share them with you to help you probably save some money. All right, so very first thing, what do I have? Oh, I have that iPad back there. Sometimes I like to watch other people paint. I've joined Reborning for Wild or Reborning Wild, something like that. And I use her paint techniques to help me. I've used that. Please look her up, Rebecca Cunningham. I have my paintbrushes. Pretty much they've come from either paint store or Amazon. Please only get really cheap ones, because with acrylic paint, it's very hard to save them. I try my best to save them, and I'll show you along the way what I do. I have some alcohol, some acetone, and my silicone product that will allow the acrylic paint to adhere to silicone. It's Inhibit X. It is in the purple container there. So we have blue alcohol, pink acetone. Here we have some hand sanitizer. Always keep your hands free of oil before touching the baby and other things. So I do that. I have my Mona Lisa paint thinner. I have some disposable lip gloss applicators, wood sticks, acrylic free, latex free sponges, some other little dessert containers I use to mix paint. I have a paint palette. I have a little dish. I don't like to waste paper, so I have the little small things here where I pour my paint in when I need it to be kind of laid out a little. I have my tweezers ready for when I get my baby out of the water. I will begin prepping it. Now, I've prepared all my paint. All right, I've mixed my paint, pre-mixed my paint with part A. So here you'll see part B ready to be extracted, the same parts. So if I pull out some on part A, I use the same thing for part B. Then I put it into either here or here, depending on how I'm going to mix it, how much I'm using, and then I mix it with some thinner. I also have a little container here with paint thinner, so I can drop my brushes in there and try to save that if I can. Let's go over the paint, okay? So I'll put them in paint order. All right, we'll look at them. Because I like to do biracial babies, you may not. I like to start off with a base coat, even base coat. Very similar to like what you're doing when you are painting, trying to see if I can get some light, reborn dolls. So I have painted reborn dolls, not an expert, nowhere near. Probably now for about 2 to 3 years, much longer than painting silicones. Or I don't know if this is better, but base coat for me looks like this. You can make sure it's up however you like. I do not have any thinner in here. I have my mixed paint I'll show you in a second with part A of Cycle Paint. This is part B of Cycle Paint. You must use the same amount of part A and part B before applying it to your doll with some thinner. All right, so how do I mix my paint? Well, I use Ennis. Ennis is pre-made paint that is already colored, and it has the names like, it has names like Vibrant Rose, which of course you can always make yourself. But these kind of help get you started. They're very concentrated, right? All right, so that's one. I use silk paints, which, I gotta get that clean. That is spilling the red, so I need to stop and get that. Put that over here. Didn't close that very well. All right, and I also use Sam's. So Sam's has regular skin tone and biracial painting set. Look those up. For silk, SILC, you can get those on Amazon. Here you can get them from Silicone Art Materials. And Ennis, Pray. I got mine from Carolyn Daltrey, but you can just search for it. So it takes, for me, I use a series of paint to get my colors. So first color, base, is a neutralizing brown. Then for the second step is going to be, gosh, why can't I see this? This is like a blue undertone, but it's more aqua than blue. But here it's looking, oh, maybe if I do it like this, you could see it's kind of like an aqua blue. Very concentrated, so you don't need a lot. Then you have a deep blue for your blue veins. Then the next step would be your purple undertoning. So it follows your blue undertoning, veining, purple undertoning. Yes, my dears, it takes a while to get these paint, but I love mixing the paint, and I love doing that because it saves time. After painting the purple undertone, you go with your magenta mottling. This is biracial painting, guys. Then you use your pink mottling. Then you use your, you could crease, just kind of a dark purple brown color, and blush. Right. After blushing, you're going to do your skin, well, I would say do your mustard. I call it yellow mottling, but do your yellow mottling. It's going to take all your mottling before and blend them together. Neutralize it so that it's not standing out too hard. Give it a kind of a golden base so that when you get ready to apply your skin layer 1, skin layer 2, shadowing, which of course is a very dark color. After that, sometimes you need a green wash, or if your baby is going to be light biracial, you might want to just add a little bit of green mottling in there, or if you need to neutralize. 3D, very important. It makes the colors pop. Your eyebrows, just a dark brown, and your fingernail tips. This is going to be a lot of fingernails, isn't it? Well, to tell the truth, if I wanted a light skinned baby, I could use this as a base, to be very honest. All right, so I'm going to put them back in stacking order because I like to be organized. All right, what else do I have to show you? The next thing is I try to paint with gloves on. Some mistakes I've made. Painting the doll and all of a sudden the paint won't stick. Why? Well, that's when the inhibit X comes into play. Learned about that after the fact, and no more issues with that. Speeding up my painting by pre-mixing, using A to mix it, and then B in a container applicator so you don't mix the two, right? One is going to always be clear, and one's going to be a little colored because you are pushing it into your different colors, mixing it, and applying. Another thing, all right, I don't know if you can see underneath this cover. I actually ordered this cover, but I believe you could probably go to Home Depot, measure out what you need and the height, and get a cover made. I would suggest you put some holes in it. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Don't know where you are, but you don't want it to get too hot. I actually have an over area here, so I like to keep it like that so I can keep some air flowing. This is sitting on top of a TV stand that swivels. I have it covered with a doggy pad that is perhaps lint-free, but when I use it without the wax paper, lint always accumulates. So I tape my wax paper down on top of it. I have my desk in front of natural light. I have some natural light bulbs. I have to do that because look at the walls. My room is black, and that is not good. So I have to have natural light to see what I'm doing, or you'll be making a huge mistake. What else do I want to share? So always have your stuff set up, organized. The very first thing that you're going to do is use some hand sanitizer, put your gloves on, and start working, right? You'll be able to see the colors that I pre-made better once I pull them out into the dish. So don't fear that this was kind of fast. You will be able to see the color, and you will be able to mix your own. Okie dokie. All right, guys. Again, get you a cover, put some holes in it, get you a TV swivel stand, get you some doggy pads, some wax paper, some tape to tape it down so it doesn't move, some glass baby jars. I love these because it's better than using a huge paper plate, right, that you're just going to throw away. Let's see. Have your reference capabilities, whether it be your phone or your iPad. Please go into the automotive section of Amazon or Walmart and get you some lint-free paper towels. I use this brush the most for when I am matting her, and I use these, which are very cheap from Amazon, when I apply the sealer. Just use that once, throw it away. I use some of my other painting for some details. I guess, let's see, what else do I have? Oh gosh, these are really good. I like regular toothpicks, right? Because sometimes you have to open the mouth, and then I use the little stirrers. Don't need anything too big. Make sure those are latex free. You can always test them by putting them in some of your paint mixed with Cycle Paint A and B, and then dabbing it, waiting to see it should harden. If it doesn't, don't use them, okay? It will prevent your baby from drying. So I get my latex-free sponges from Amazon. Just search latex-free. You'll see the sponges. And then I have some little containers. Sometimes I like to mix in here. Especially like if I'm doing my sealer, because it's going to be nice and loose. Nothing very heavy for sealing. Let's see, latex-free gloves, which I use to paint, and of course, when I'm sealing my baby before I mat it. I have a little holder, comes with your sponges, so grab that. These are the tweezers that I'll be using. Okay, make sure you clean your tweezers from your last time that you've used it. I'm going to clean mine right now. The last thing you want to do is transfer onto your baby. All right, so I got a couple things I have to clean up: this paint and these tweezers. All right, stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video, which will be coming right up. Our baby is soaking in some warm water with Dawn. Thanks. All right, so we're back. We have the baby Emmanuel soaking in some water with Dawn. And we're going to wash him, because he's a him. We're not covering any genitals, and he is anatomically correct. So if it's offensive, you may want to stop watching and use someone else, because I will not be covering him up, but I will let him soak. Then I will clean him. I will lay him on my lint-free paper here, roll-up paper we talked about. I actually get mine from Amazon, and it is found in the automobile section because it is lint-free, and they use that for car washing and window drying, etc. It doesn't have a lot of lint, if any is lint-free. Okay, so washing the baby. I'm gonna wash him real good. I'm gonna rinse him real well, and then I am going to let him dry. Lay him out, air dry. Then I'll take him to the station, and we'll begin looking at anything that we need to repair, pull off, fix, etc. Okay? All right. Lukewarm water, a little Dawn. Let your baby soak. Clean him off. This baby is a little heavy, probably about 7-8 pounds. But look how cute. Hello, Emmanuel. We're getting ready to bring you alive. All right. Stay tuned for the next video. All right, welcome back. We are actually getting ready to... Wow, that looks good. We're going to actually check the baby for any imperfections, lint, little dots. And we're going to spray our Exhibit X and get ready to paint the base coat. So I've inserted a stick in the mouth. When you are painting the baby's mouth and you have a stick in there, try not to touch the area where the stick is. Okay. All right, this baby looks pretty good. Again, this is Emmanuel from Lori Sullivan Roy. And he is, I don't know, 7-8 pounds, about 22 inches long. Could be a little longer. Looks like he wears newborn. All right, size. So I'm gonna spray. I'm gonna dab. This is again to allow our silicone paint to stick to the silicone. Our acrylic paint, sorry, to stick to our silicone. If you don't use it, you run into an issue of the paint not being applied or sticking to your silicone baby, and you will be devastated as I was prior to learning about this product. Some people say, hey, just use alcohol after you wash the baby, and some acetone, but I will tell you that I have done that, and it does not. It cleans the lid off, but it does not create an adhesive bond between your acrylic paint and the silicone. All right, you're gonna repeat this when you turn the baby on the back. All right, here we go. I'm taking my syringe. I'm going to add equal parts, and remember, I have pre-mixed my silicone. This is part B. So, let me clean this up a little bit. I filled up my containers and kind of went a little heavy. All right, so we don't need much for the front, but whatever we do, we're going to use the same amount of part A. So that is enough. I'm going to use this syringe only for B. It will be clear, so I know that that's that one. And then we will take our part A, which has been pre-mixed, for my base coat. Let's see here what's happening with my container. Oh, sorry. My little thing here is sticking up. Off of my fingers. And always use alcohol, acetone, when I have no oil or residue of any kind on your hands, because it will stick to the baby. Okay, now we're going to open up our part B. Part A, which is my base coat, and as you can see, I have some brown, some flesh, yeah, I think that's about it, brown and flesh to make a base coat. So that is to be for my part A. It will have color on it. All right, I need this to be airtight, so I gotta keep the rubber in the right position. Okay. Now we're gonna take our Mona Lisa paint thinner. I'm gonna make this quite thin because I'm only doing a very thin base coat to neutralize and give it a nice base for my biracial baby. Don't need a lot of paint because, again, I'm only doing a very light coat. I'm not trying to put a skin tone on here, just trying to put a nice even base coat so that I'm going to get a different container. That squeeze bottle there is a mess. Anyway, oops. Get this stirred up real nice and evenly. And I'll get started painting. Then you repeat this to the back. Everything that we do on the front, you'll repeat to the back, okay? You can do it after the front has dried, or you can do it at the end, once you finish all your stuff. Okay, so I like to have a nice little sponge. I'm going to start in the face. I'm just going to lightly jab. Do not press down too hard. It will leave a little indentation, and we don't want any indentions or streaks on our baby. So this should not take very long because, again, it's just a very thin base coat. I don't know if you can see the difference. It's very subtle, but it is a difference. And that's going to help with us when we're trying to do our skin tone. We won't have to go, but maybe 1 or 2 coats, because our skin will not be very light. Our base won't be. Okay. So underneath the chin. I'm working very fast. I'm only going to do the part that is sticking up on this side, not going underneath the arms. We will do that when we flip the baby over. And just one side. Particles, particles, particles. Where do they come from? Where do they come from? And this is going to be applied throughout the entire baby. I'm thinking maybe there's some kind of air purifier that you might want to put or buy and put next to your baby to help reduce air particles attaching itself to your doll while you're painting, if you don't have a cover. But do your best, but please remove anything foreign when you see it. Okay. If you don't, you will find yourself with a bumpy baby. And that's not good. Nobody wants a baby with a bunch of little silicone boogers, because that's what they will be. I've done that. Like, oh God, I just can't do it anymore. And then what I end up with is a baby full of silicone boogers. And it's better just to sit there like I did. Take your time and remove them off. So I don't know if you can see, but if I press too hard, I'll get like a little line. So that's when I do this. And The only reason why I don't use this to apply is because it actually sucks up too much paint. However, I do like it as a dabber to remove excess and to smooth the paint down evenly. It's a great, actually, excellent sponge. All right, moving on to the legs. Now again, because you're going to do the back side, I only want to concentrate on this portion of the leg or the arms or the tummy that you can actually see. Even down here, I'm only going to do to the paper line. And because I have it watered down so much with the thinner, it gives me a little bit more time to play with the paint. So just as if you were painting a reborn, we are using our sponge to actually apply, move the paint, and spread it evenly over the doll, baby's body. Okay. And as you that also speeds up the drying process. And I can't tell you how long your paint is going to take to dry on your baby, because depending on where you live, in your atmosphere, whether it's like here in Georgia, we are, we have high humidity and it's hot, so we keep the air on. And that could cause some dampness in your hair, which could either do one or two things. Speed up the curing process, drying process, or it can slow it down. Okay. Now, when we get to our other paint, you'll be able to see an indicator of where you actually left off painting. For this, which is just really a quick little base coat, very light, and you can hardly see it. But when you flip the baby over, you'll make sure that you get all of those areas on the back. You may double up a little bit, but it's okay. It's not gonna hurt. What we don't want to do is leave any areas not painted. And then when you do your base coat, skin tone, not your base coat, but your skin tone layers, you want to be extra careful, because by overlaying the paint, you're actually putting a second layer. Okay, so this baby has a little bit of acrylic on the face. I guess came off the mold. I just use the sharp end of the tweezer to get that off. Some people actually will buy the Eco 20, and they will mix the A and B together, and they will go in and smooth any imperfections out, repair. But mine new to the process, and I do not want to get into repairing silicones. I honestly believe that the money that I spend on these babies should come very close to perfect, right? Now, I will say there's a couple little indentions I'll try and fill, but again, this is cycle paint, and it's not really made to seal or conceal holes, but more or less to adhere the paint to the silicone. So, do the best I can. Over the courses of painting the different layers, I may be able to get some of these indentions evened out. Okay. Oh boy, look at that. Big old bubble. Don't want that in the nose. You want that nose nice and clean. All right, very good. Okay. I'm already seeing some little silicone boogers, but I don't want to mess up the baby. So I'm going to go back through. I'm going to pull off what I can, because if I don't, it will adhere. So you guys know I have a cover for my dolls. And at the end of this video, I will be placing that cover over the doll. And until this paint that's left here has cured, I will not continue to the next step. The next step will be our blue undertones, followed by blue veining. Now again, it's up to you how you want to paint. You can paint on one side, which is the recommended approach. And once you're finished, then you will flip your baby and do every single step again. And the great news with pre-mixed paint is that you don't ever have to worry about mixing the paint exact for the back because it's pre-made. You're just going to follow your same steps. Okay? All right. Very good. I guess we'll be doing this all day, huh? All right, we're going to end here because I can pick at this doll for hours. I don't know if you can see that, but I most definitely can see a nice tone. Nice even base coat. Kind of like a primer. Think of it as a primer. Nice little prime coat. Alright, I'm stopping because as I continue, I'm probably adding these little things. Okay, that's done. Gonna drop and let me pounce my baby one more time. I'm on carpet, so I have to be extra careful. When I drop things, that's why I have my little holder over there. I should have used it. Okay. Now this again, like I said, it is going to speed up your drying of your paint because you're pouncing your color into the silicone. And my suggestion is to don't overpaint, right? Let it dry naturally. Know when to stop. All right, and that concludes